YouTube was good. It's Dave CP3 and I'm here with this video. It's going to be a top 5 things you need to learn and do in order to hit Z rank. The number one topic of discussion, super counter. You have to know how to super counter. As you can see in this gameplay, I had the key advantage when I started super countering, but he won that battle. But once I re-engaged him, I had 4 key bars in comparison to his 1, and now I'm winning his vanish and dealing massive damage. Now once this engagement is over, we have the same amount of key, but I will have the health lead. This is just one of those situations where it's just character based, but he ended up with the key advantage just because of the character he's using. Tip number 2, Vanish Wars / Z counters. You must win your Vanish Wars if you have the key advantage. If you have the key advantage, there should be no reason why you're losing Vanish Wars. If you find yourself losing Vanish Wars when you have the key advantage, that's going to cost you in the long run as a result of the battle that you're in. You're more likely to lose that battle if you're constantly losing Vanish Wars when you have key advantage. The key between us is very close, as you can see here, but he has the key advantage. So in order for him to come out on top, he will have to win these Vanish Wars rather than lose them and take more damage, especially when he's in his last bar of health. This piggybacks to my first point as super countering. We both ran out of key, but I knew I can super counter, and he has a super counter out of a Vanish Ward this entire battle. So that cost him the win. Being able to super counter and winning Vanish Wars with key advantage, those are the 2 most important things. If you can't do those things, then it's going to be very hard for you to hit Z. Alright, in this battle here, I'm going to be talking about one of my honorable mentions, and that is going to be prioritizing block over perception. You're going to see it in a few in this clip. The reason I say blocking over perception, well, prioritize it, is because of the nerfs that happen to perception that makes it burn more key, and as well it makes you more punishable if someone gets around you using perception. This is another perfect example because when you're using perception, some characters are way more obvious than others. As you can see here, Topo is just standing there, and as big as he is, you can see that hand just sticking out with perception written all over it. That's why I never complained about perception spammers, because those guys are the easiest to punish because they're just sitting there holding the button, and all you gotta do is sidestep them and make them pay for it. When I find a perception spammer, that automatically tells me that they're on standard controls. Standard control users, they only press circle to go into perception. As myself, as a classic controller user, you have to press circle to block and then press triangle both together to go into perception. But the downside to using classic controls is that if you let go of triangle while you're still holding circle, you will still be in perception, what makes you more vulnerable to being punished. That's just one small piece of knowledge for you guys that don't know standard versus classic controls. Another reason why I say prioritize block over perception is because if someone's punching your guard, you can press perception and your likelihood of getting a sonic sway is way higher. Now the next topic of discussion, key management. Key management is more important than ever, especially with the new changes they made to the Z burst dash costing 2 bars instead of just 1. Key management is very obvious, so I don't believe I have to go into a full spiel about key management. It just makes the game easier for you. You can do more specials, you'll win more Vanish Wars, and you can apply more pressure if you just maintain your key. The more Vanish Wars you win, the more damage. The more supers you can get off, the more damage. Just managing your key helps you in so many different ways. Alright, we made it through our top 3. Now we're on to my number 4, which is movement. Movement is very important as well. Movement is important because it makes you unpredictable, harder to hit. You don't have to rely on blocking and perception, and now you can find more openings to punish. Yeah, as you can see here in this Frieza clip, my movement had him so shooken up that he forgot I had Wild Sense, and when he finally was able to land a blow, Wild Sense countered him. This battle here I had with Garlic Jr., this fight was purely on movement. We both were trying to counter each other with movement. We wasn't really guarding and using perception that much. Is because our movement was the priority in this battle. In my opinion, I would much rather fight a perception spammer rather than someone that has movement like this Garlic Jr. here. Because these guys, it's very hard to find an opening, and then when you finally do get an opening, they might super counter you, they may revenge counter you. It's so many different things. But a perception spammer, you can just counter them all day with a sidestep and just cook them up. All in all, movement is important because it makes your opponent harder to find openings on you, and it makes it easier for you to find openings on them. Alright, my last main topic of discussion is knowing how to combo. When I say know how to combo, I mean do different things to where you're less likely to be super countered. Do your rush string into the first 5 hits, and then on the follow-up, do a lift attack, and then you can knock them down, charge up. Or you can do a sweep and charge up. Or you can do a lift attack and then go into a special. You got multiple options to do either long strings with 3 consecutive rush attacks, or you can just do short string combos like I like to do into supers. I think it's important to know your opponent as well when you're thinking about your combos. If you know they can't super counter or vanish, go into these longer, more drawn out combos. Most importantly, when I say know how to combo, mix in different things. Make sure you're doing your string that has the rolling hammer. Make sure you're throwing in some of those lift kicks. It's different options to open your opponent up or make it more difficult for them to super counter you. With all that being said, those are my top 5 tips to give a new player in order for them to hit Z as easy as possible. A person like me, I went into ranked without all of this knowledge, so I had to learn the hard way. And now looking back at all the things I learned as far as gameplay mechanics and practicing my super countering and knowing how to vanish, key management, movement, knowing how to combo, when to combo, how to do combos, all of those things, now that I got them all bundled into one, I feel like I'm one of the better Z ranks. And when I say I believe I'm one of the better Z ranks, is because all these clips that I post as far as the videos of gameplay and everything else, I'm always fighting against other Z ranks. I don't clip if I'm fighting someone in the A ranks or B ranks. Everybody I'm fighting in all of these videos are Z ranks. Now I ain't gonna lie, if I catch an S rank, I will clip an S rank because they right there outside of the Z rank. But I always fight against other Zs. I always make these other Zs look foolish, and I have fun doing it. Now granted, I'm not saying I'm out here winning every fight, because there is people I go up against and they whoop on me. But for the most part, I'm having fun with this game because I actually win more than I lose. And now to close off this video, I want to talk about one more honorable mention, and that is character knowledge. Knowing who you're up against and who you're fighting is very important, because each character has different skills and different combo strings and all of those things that matter. You going up against a character with Wild Sense, you need to know that. You going up against a character with instant transmission, you need to know that. Explosive wave, you need to know that. All those things are important. If you go into a fight and you don't know what techniques this character has, it's going to be difficult for you to win. Granted, the game's been out long enough to where most people know what characters have what techniques, but when you fight up against those characters you don't really see, like Topo, you need to know certain things about these characters. Because I fought against a Topo before, and I'm standing there blocking, and I got hit with an ultimate. Come to find out, it's unblockable. So you need to have character knowledge that'll help you win more battles as well. If you made it to this point in the video, I definitely appreciate you for watching, and I hope you learned something. If you take these things I've told you and you incorporate them into your gameplay, you will hit Z, trust me. In this clip here, I realized this guy couldn't super counter me, so I just stayed aggressive the entire battle. I definitely again want to say I appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching. I hope you can take everything from this video and it helps you climb through the ranks much easier. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all for watching. Thanks. Until next time.